Greetings everyone, welcome back. As you can see, I have not touched the BMW since Thanksgiving, and the first event of the season is this coming Saturday, and I've got a lot of work to do. This is probably going to be a two-parter, but for sure in this video, I am going to remove the entire stock exhaust and replace the stock headers with some aftermarket ones. Now, the average human being would probably replace those units with some cheap ones off of eBay. However, I'm above average, and I have gotten some headers from Schmiedmann, and these things look incredibly wicked, and I'm really excited to see how these will sound. I am also hoping that the installation process will be a little easier than what I've heard the eBay headers are. As you will see here momentarily, the rest of the exhaust on the car is pretty cooked, so I plan to make a new exhaust out of these stainless pipes that I got laying around. Now I know what you're thinking, dang, this kid can weld? No, I've never welded anything in my life. However, that is a bridge that I will cross when I get there. Right now, I'm just gonna focus on what's ahead of me, and that is removing the stock exhaust. I would bless your ears with a before sound clip. However, I don't want to burn my fingies when I get to work here. But just for reference, the entire exhaust is stock up until the rear here. We are sporting a muffler delete with some pretty wicked exhaust tips. Well, that's enough yapping. I'm gonna crawl underneath this thing and start contemplating my life because I know this isn't gonna be fun.
All right, step one is to remove this guy. And it appears as if there isn't much holding it in. Come on, there you are. Yeah. I knew the cooler would come in handy.
Well, that part went well, as to be expected. Now, it's time for the fun part.
As you can see here, there is not much room for activities in here. So I am going to take this whole motor mount out. That will give me access to the manifold bolts, which are somewhere up there. If we look through here, you can see that they look pristine.
Well, everything was going according to plan, but that has since changed. I was working on removing the motor mount bolts. I got 2 of them out just fine, but I got some of this one out, and I think I'm about to get some of the last one out, so that's exciting.
Hell yeah. It's as good of a view as you're gonna get.
Despite the broken motor mount bolts, I'm gonna keep trucking and try and get the stock manifolds off. Conveniently, there are these heat shields incorporated in the gasket, so that's blocking access to the studs from the top, and underneath, it's not much of a better story, if I'm being honest, so this is where the real fun begins. I just went ahead and unplugged the upstream O2 sensors, and I'm realizing that removing this guy here will probably help me get to those back ones, so I'm gonna do that now. If I am not mistaken, this is exhaust manifold nut numero uno out of 24, but I'm not gonna bore you with me messing around trying to get these things out, so I'll update you as I go. Wish me luck. Hello. Big moment of truth here. I just got one of the manifolds completely unbolted, and I'm gonna try and get it out. I don't know if it'll be able to squeeze through though. Just for reference, on the one that I did get out of the car, I took the top row out from the engine bay and then the bottom row from underneath, and it went pretty well. It just sucks you might get like a quarter turn at a time, so. This is too good not to show you.
This bottom row, especially in the back of the motor, very difficult to get to. So I've got a 11 millimeter flex head ratcheting wrench with a 12 millimeter as an extension, and she's coming out with ease. I have done it. Both of the headers are out. The second one sort of fell as I got that last stud out, so I'm gonna yank it out from underneath now. Ow. Meow. Well, everyone, it has been a few days since I got the stock cats out of the car, but now I have all of the new hardware and gaskets that I need to install my new headers. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove the remaining stud or two that didn't come out with the nut. But don't you worry, I will end this video with an open header clip. I hope you enjoy this clip of me putting 2 nuts on that thing. Yeah. Slowly but surely.
If you remember, I broke 2 of my motor mount bracket bolts, so we're currently extracting those. Stay tuned.
The big shot.
Oh yeah.
Sam doesn't drink, but I do, so Twisted Tea, if you see this, we would love to put a sticker on the car.
This is not going in the video. Oh yeah.
Butter.
She's coming, brother.
Mr. Pacrul would be so proud right now.
Dude, he's gonna watch this.
Then he's gonna comment, chase your dreams.
Please do, drop a comment.
I bet you can spin it out by fingers
I was
now.
gonna say it's starting to wobble. I couldn't a second ago. Yeah.
Oh.
Come on, baby.
At this current moment, I have all of the header studs out, the header flange cleaned up. I have the broken motor mount bolts out. I'll show you the process of installing some of the new studs, and then I'm hoping to bolt the headers up and then get this motor mount bolted in tonight. That way, maybe tomorrow morning, I can start this thing up and see how it sounds open headers. I thought this was pretty interesting. For starters, this motor mount is absolutely cooked. I'm still waiting to hear back from Rev Shift. Help a brother out. I'm balling on a budget. But also, the new bolts I got for this bracket, the 2 bolts that didn't break, fit great. The 2 holes that did break, super corroded. Gotta clean that up. So that'll be fun. I got a little PB blaster on the end of my stud here. I really can't thread it in far by hand. And then I'm gonna thread it in until the little stop bottoms out. Pretty self-explanatory. It's a very tedious process. A lot of studs, a little overkill, a lot of cranking. All of the new header studs are in, so now it is time to bolt up the new headers. I did a little test fit. I did end up taking them back out and putting the O2 sensors in. And when I did that, I realized that one of the O2 sensors is hitting the firewall ever so slightly. If we go for a little stroll here, I made a very precise mark on where the O2 sensor was hitting. So I'm gonna have to beat this with a hammer a little bit. For the sake of the video, just know that I got all 12 studs and nuts on the first header. Hopefully I'll be able to get to most of them from the top on this header, because I definitely won't be able to get to them from the bottom. Well, that was most definitely a very tedious process, but I was able to get 22 out of 24 nuts on the headers, so I'm pretty pumped about that. Now it is my bedtime, however, I'd like to see how much of a pain this motor mount is gonna be going back in the car, and then I will call it a night. Aside from plugging in my O2 sensors, I think the last thing that I need to do before I start this rig is install my EGR valve delete plate, which I've got right here. Shout out to my boy Ellis for machining this thing for me. It's pretty sick. This could be satisfactory. Ooh.
Ooh. Ooh. Come on, baby. Yup. Yeah. Talk to me nice. There you are. Mmm. Mmm. I ain't going nowhere.
As far as I'm concerned, we are ready.
The headers are bolted down, hopefully. O2 sensors are in. EGR delete is in.
I don't know what else, but it's in. Let's see what happens.
Hello, beautiful. It's been a while.
Right here, it sounds like a truck. All right, everyone, the car's fully warmed up now, so I'm gonna give you a couple revs to end out this video. Man, that is terrible. So that is gonna do it for this video. I am super pumped on these Schmiedmann headers. The installation went great. All I had to do was hammer in the firewall a little bit, but that is nothing compared to what you have to do with the cheap eBay headers. So if you're looking to get headers for your BMW, go check out the Schmiedmann headers, but keep in mind that they do not bolt up to your stock exhaust without some modification. However, you're gonna have to tune in next Friday at 5 o'clock to see what this thing sounds like coming out the back of the car. So make sure to give this video a like and a comment. Make sure you are subscribed. Everyone's doing it. You don't wanna be left out. But I will see you next Friday at 5 o'clock. Deuces.